Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Smart Tech Show. You're most welcome to 2024. I would like to tell my audience Happy New Year. I hope you're really enjoying your January of 2024. Now, today, I would like to welcome all my tech lovers back to the Technology Show. We have indulging and, of course, very many exciting topics to talk about this year. But to begin the year, we want to embark with industry leaders under the augmented and virtual reality concepts to work with us on what it means to be a part of such conversations. And to those that are watching us today, what does it mean for you who is in the education sector when it comes to the augmented and virtual reality? How do we use these breakthrough technologies in our area of living? And also, what can we do to reshape the landscape of education? But at the same time, we want to understand how we revolutionize our lives and also be a part of these technology trends that are happening on a daily basis. Now, today, I'm honored and delighted to be joined by industry leaders and experts who have of course, insightful knowledge when it comes to augmented technologies, virtual reality. It's a very vast topic. I cannot, of course, expound and narrow it myself. I needed a team that can help me break it down for you to understand what it means to also be a part of such conversations. Now, it's a very big team. I'll give them the opportunity to introduce themselves and then we shall get back into it. My name, as of course you know, I'm your presenter, Oyesje Kenton Liberty, and I'm once again very delighted to have you back to the technology program in 2024. You're most welcome. Over to you, Edison.
Thank you, moderator. I'm called Edison Nkurununji from Uganda Institute of Information and Communications Technology. And I'm leading this project that is going to be implemented at our institute by the government of Uganda. Glad to be here. Good evening, viewers, once again. Thank you.
Thank you, people. I'm Flavia Nagumba from Uganda Institute of ICT, and I'm the IT team lead for the Virtual Augmented Reality Project.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, moderator. Good evening, viewers. My name is Miguel Moses. I'm an assistant academic registrar at the Institute, Uganda Institute of Information and Communications Technology. But I'm part of the team, the project implementation team.
Yeah.
My areas are basically academics. I'm the academic champion on the team.
Wow.
And, that's my area. I'm happy to be here. Happy New Year to the viewers. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Moses. Now, for those that are watching, guys, maybe you must be wondering why I had to choose a team from the Uganda Institute of Information and Communication Technology. But this is an institute that has allocated funds for the acquisition of consulting services for content development in what we call STEM. For those that are watching us, for the purpose of your understanding, it is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and innovation to the education sector. Now, we want to understand how do we explore the augmented reality, the virtual reality into shaping and reshaping the learning experience. Now, Edison, of course, you have vast knowledge on what augmented and virtual reality is. But for the purpose of our viewers, some people may not understand what is augmented reality, what is virtual reality. How can we easily break it down for any layman person out there?
Thank you, moderator.
Yeah.
Yes, we have these emerging technologies and specifically augmented reality and virtual reality. So here we are looking at how to experience enhanced teaching and learning. Like the moderator has said, of the STEM subjects, for instance, he has already mentioned the subjects as science, technology, engineering, math, mathematics, and innovation. We believe that these are some of the complex concepts that cannot easily be conceived by the learner. And now augmented and virtual reality technologies are coming in to kind of enhance and simplify the delivery and acquisition of these concepts, whereby a student will be presented in a simulated real world that is seemingly virtual, and the student will be, for example, interacting with the environment as though they are immersed in that kind of experience, and therefore they will be working, they will be able to better understand the concept than someone who is just like in a traditional classroom setting and literally that the technology that we are trying to bring for the nationals and the regional citizens to be able to simplify the delivery of these rather complex concepts.
Let me
I
stick
thank
with you,
you.
Edison. Let me stick with you for a while, Edison. We want to understand, do you think that virtual reality is such a concept that can break down the traditional way of doing things? Do you think it's going to make the students have an active participation, be interactive in class? Do you think this is a technology that can help us break the barrier of traditional education?
Absolutely, yes. And thank you so much, moderator, for that question. Definitely, we are saying with the with augmented and virtual reality technologies, here, this is where we are going to find a student doesn't have to be, for example, in a physical class. Some students, they are unable to access the physical classroom setting because of maybe probably the disabilities one might be possessing, but also the other costs involved in transportation, for example, from wherever they are, the fatigue that they may develop along the way through the vehicles that they are using to come to the physical classroom. But also, we have things to do with, for example, gaming and entertainment, the concepts that you can incorporate like in a lesson that keeps a student more engaged. And therefore, when someone is engaged, they tend to keep alert and grasp the concept as it is being delivered, and so many other advantages that can come along with the technologies.
Thank you so much, Edson. Moses, over to you. Let me understand your perspective on how do you think that we can change the mindset? Do you think the students are easily going to, process this? Do you think they're easily going to, welcome this idea, of this new learning experience? How do we change the mindset of these students, Moses?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Edison, for that very good background. I'll begin by giving us some small example. In education or in learning, there are three aspects. There's a learner, there's an environment, okay, and there is a teacher.
Exactly. Okay. There's a learner, there's an environment, and there's a teacher. Yes.
Okay. All the three interact, okay, to come up with a proper output, depending on how you set up everything. For us here, we're interested in simulating that environment to help the learner understand better, to create that environment where the learner can get an experience that is exciting. Okay, between me and you know very well that there are certain learners that have never seen certain things.
Exactly.
Get it? So you need to create an environment where the learner is going to appreciate something they have never seen. Get it? In that process, the learner is going to be excited to learn. Okay, it's not going to be boring. So to answer your question, it's going to break the barrier of the traditional learning methods. Okay, it's going to complement, okay, what has been here. Okay, so basically, for us, what we are interested in is the learner to come out as a very good person. You get it? And the person who has the skills. Okay, first of all, the vocational skills, the skills to work on certain things. Okay, to have the knowledge. But most importantly, to apply the knowledge. And between me and you, there are certain things as a country we can only use stimulating what? Okay. So that is what we are trying to do.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Please give us a background of this, of this project. What's the overview of this project? Yeah.
To add on to what my colleagues have said,
Yes.
UICT has been identified by the government to champion in training using VR, and which is virtual reality and augmented reality in training. So it is going to be a focused on two sectors, which is the education and the enterprise sector.
Yeah.
So in the education sector, we are going to look at all levels of education, right from kindergarten to higher levels of education.
Yes.
So a learner is able to interact. Virtual reality is going to help students interact with the environment. So with the many partnerships that we have with the government, we have Beyond XR, it is a US Eon Reality. It is a US platform, the university platform that we are using to train the students. So with this platform, we are able to use it to give interactive classes. An educator creates a pre-recorded session per se, or they can also have a live session with the learner. So the experience is with the learner that they have an interactive session that much as the educator is giving a background or explaining concepts, the hard concepts, the learner is able to interact with the concept that is being allowed by the student, by the teacher, sorry. So, for example, we've started actually using the technology already. So, there are some ULCT mainly focuses on engineering, ICT, and management. So we have the electrical students and telecom students. We create models, 3D models around the environment and the assets, or the assets here are the components. For example, an engine that you would have in the lab. So a learner is able to interact with the engine in a virtual environment. So it brings the learner closer. Besides it being interesting, that the learner is interested to actually learn, they're able to interact. It creates that interactive environment for the student. And then they are also able to be quizzed because the platform offers all those experiences. And then they are able to also learn at their own pace. At their own pace. The content is there, it is developed, it is there, and we are still developing more content. So the learners are able to learn more things. We put up content that is relevant to them. They're able to do all these different interactions. So we are looking at having more content developed and also bringing in all these other different sectors from the enterprise and education sectors to come up with the content that is relevant to the industry for both the citizens and then the sectors that so that we all benefit from the technology.
Absolutely. Yes.
Probably I can also supplement on what Flavia has delivered. Thank you so much, Flavia, for that detailed explanation. In addition, we know that with VR and AR, it is going to also simplify the problem of cost. You know, we deal in these labs, in the physical labs, we may need to deal with very expensive components. Like she has talked about the engine, a car engine. It is very hard for a big audience, like if you have a class of 100 students and you need to have 100 physical car engines to work with. So now, how the AR and VR are coming in to help this situation is that you can have a car engine simulated, and then you have a class of over 1,000 people that are spread globally, and then they can learn how to, they can gain skills on how to manage this engine from wherever they are, and then and that will have simplified the cost, the cost problem that that the students could have incurred in, for example, purchasing or accessing each and every physical engine that they would have required. But also, there is that advantage of accessing the vast numbers of students from a big audience is a very big advantage, because in a physical classroom setting, it is complicated to find that you have a room that can actually accommodate 1,000 students. So that is what I wanted to supplement onto his onto her submission.
Let me stick
Thank
with
you.
you, Paul. Let's stick with you, Edison. Paul.
Yes, please.
Want to understand what is the target? What is your target as a project manager? What is the target you're looking at? Maybe are you looking at the whole of Uganda? If I look at the whole of Uganda, what is your target? That is number one. Number two, let's discuss infrastructure, the availability of infrastructure. is it the facilities where are there labs existing where we're going to have, the teachers, be trained at something like that? Want information on that? And maybe three is to also discuss some of the challenges or concerns that you have pointed out when it comes to, this transition of, of education from the traditional methods.
All right. Thank you so much, moderator. Let me begin with the target.
Yes.
The target audience, UICT, being the agency under the Ministry of ICT and the National Guidance, the government of Uganda has identified it to promote or spearhead the digital skilling of the citizens across the country, as it is enshrined in the NDP3 under Human Capital Development. So the target is that UICT as a regional center of excellence in this AR and VR technology, we are looking at skilling all of the nationals. So we shall have among our partners, we shall have institutions, schools, like she has said, right from kindergarten up to university level, but also we are targeting nationals from our neighboring countries. Of course, we shall begin with our schools around, but we all believe that we have a good representation of students from our neighboring countries. So those will help us in actually spreading the gospel about this new technology that we are trying to skill the Ugandans and then the regional citizens with. The second question was infrastructure. At UICT, we have already finished phase 1. We have identified the location and the lab that we are going to install these technologies in. Ion Reality, the US-based company she has talked about, is one of our partners, and it is the one actually that is going to do the real installation of the hardware and the software involved. They have so far given us 5,000 licenses for the learners that we are going to through a certain criteria with the help of the stakeholder ministries, we shall be able to identify the representation from the different schools and institutions countrywide, and then we shall be able to bring them and train them right from UICT. We also have 750 licenses that are going to be enterprise. Now, those will be targeting people from the business industry, so that we are not only training the education from the education perspective alone, but we also want to train people who are interested in using these technologies to carry out their businesses and take them to the next level. Then the third question was?
The third question, we talked about the target, talked about the infrastructure, and the third question was about any concerns or challenges.
Challenges, yeah. The challenges, I wouldn't want to talk about the funding because the government of Uganda has already actually given us the funds through the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. So maybe the challenges I focus ahead is likely to be the resistance, to the adoption of these technologies. There are people who always move around whenever a new technology comes around. They move around spreading some myth that maybe this technology, if you get involved in such kind of technology, maybe your tribe is going to get eliminated or you are going to die. So usually there is that resistance by the people, but we hope we shall, the government will also help us into sensitization to the citizens so that they can convincingly accept that this is the technology that is going to, that is aimed at delivering them from and also improving their economic status as the citizens.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Moses, something supplement?
Yes, yeah. Actually, the bigger challenge is the mentality.
The mentality.
The mentality, very big issue. Between me and you, remember during COVID,
Yeah.
Yes, so many people said learning can never take place online.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So the ability to appreciate these technologies is a very big challenge. She talked about how this technology works. Okay, for example, now there shouldn't be any teacher that should be given an excuse of not teaching.
Exactly.
Okay, because we can simulate all this in the health sector, in the agriculture sector.
Yeah.
You know, you can teach everything. She talked about the engine.
Yeah.
Okay, you can no longer say that I cannot teach engineering because I don't have an engine. All these parts can be simulated. You can create that environment so that the students can what? Can learn. But now, like Edson is talking about, is the mentality. And that's, I think, is the biggest what? Is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
But we are aware of it, and we shall try to handle it as a project unit.
Thank you so much, Moses. Flavia, please explain to my audience the methodology. How do we collaborate with universities? How do we collaborate with schools? How do we approach schools and students to ensure that they, embrace these technologies? What is the methodology of this project?
So first, like this platform you give it to us, we're using this platform to reach Ugandans, to reach everyone. So we've been to the different exhibitions organized by National Council for Higher Education, so that we let Ugandans know that something good has come on board. The government is giving us this opportunity to use it, and we are teaching Ugandans to actually know how they are supposed to use this technology. So we want to remove all the myths. We want to let the parents, the teachers in all the different sectors know that something is here for you and it is good. So the UICT is going to train the trainers, as it's championing this. It is going to train the trainers, but then the schools will also, the different schools and with the different subjects and all that, they're going to help us give input as we create the content that is going to be used for this, so that they are able to, so that it's able to aid and help their learners learn more. And actually, I think your imagination is the limit, but the opportunities are endless. They are endless. You can, anything that you can think of, innovation, students are going to be able to be innovative. They are going to be able to use the platform to do so many things that they would even not think about. So the skills that learners will get, the teachers, that the training, the upskilling that they'll be getting will also help the learners as we move ahead, so that they are not left behind. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mark. As we come to the end of the first segment, Edison, would you like to say, to tell us anything that can help us, understand more about this project, but also to tell us about how the government is supporting us and how other industry stakeholders can be involved?
All right, thank you so much. As the government of Uganda, they have indeed facilitated us, and we want to to actually thank the government of Uganda for having chosen us, much as we are the only government institution that is offering ICT training. So they looked at us as the arm that is actually going to handle this project, and it is important that this project, other stakeholders and the people should actually support us, and then we promise that we shall deliver to their expectations. We believe that like institutions, this is where they are going to find opportunities to have like virtual labs, where they can have virtual internships, and then of course we can collaboratively work with those institutions in developing content that is relevant to our setting as Uganda, Ugandan economy, but also the industry. They can join us. Of course, like I have said, we have spared 750 licenses for the industry practitioners, so they should come, and then they also train in how to handle and advertise their business transactions for the information of the Ugandans and then the regional at large.
Great, thank you so much. So now, for those that are watching us, we shall be back after this commercial break. Thank you.